Hi friend, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Megan from Grey Arrow Tarot. I am a certified transformational tarot coach and intuitive tarot reader. And today I'm really excited that we're going to get into your journey to abundance. I feel like this is something we're all kind of, constantly chasing to a degree. So let's look at how we can call that in more intentionally and take more meaningful action towards shifting our energy into this energy of abundance. Now, I also want to note that abundance isn't just money, though that is a big piece of it. But when we're talking about abundance, we're talking about all kinds of abundance, abundance of time, abundance of opportunities, abundance of love, and abundance of freedom. So we're going to get into all of the abundant energy in this reading because they're all connected. Typically if you are in a position to have an abundance of opportunities, you are able to create an abundance of wealth, and I do believe it all goes hand in hand. So it's when you are in an abundant energy, it flows into all areas of your life. So we're going to look at your journey to that level of abundance. Also note that this is a journey. So you might find that you're actually already on your way. Like I'm going to try to pull like 4 or 5 cards for each group. And I'm really going to see this reading as like, we're going to move through the phases, like from left to right, we're going to move through your journey. However, you might find that you actually already completed the first 2 phases and you're kind of on this 3rd phase over here. So just know that you can be anywhere on this journey. And just because you are at the beginning, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take you a long time to reach the end. It might, but it might not. It takes as much time as we need it to take. So try to be open to knowing your path without having to rush the process or make it to the end. Just know the more you move down the path, the more abundance you're going to receive. It's not like you have to reach the end to receive any abundance. It's a growth journey, right? So let's go ahead and get into things. You can choose your group. You cannot choose wrong. Whatever pile is speaking to you has a message for you. If you are feeling pulled to multiple groups, that just means that there are messages for you in multiple piles, and you can go ahead and listen to as many as you're called to. But of course, this is a general reading, so every message may not apply to you. You need to use your own intuition and judgment to decide which messages are yours to claim. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. And this is pile number 4. If you would like to sit with the cards for a little bit longer, you can go ahead and pause the video here. Otherwise, when you're ready, you will find the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your journey to abundance looks like. What is Pile 1's journey to abundance? Pile 1's journey to abundance. Ooh. Let's see, what else do we have for pile number 1 and their journey to abundance? This one's calling me. There we go. Okay, let's see what we've got for you. All right, so first we have the King of Swords, followed by the Knight of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and 5 of Wands and the Death card reversed. Okay. Ooh, this is really, really interesting. Let's see, can we get all the cards in the shot? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So overall, one thing I think is very interesting from the start is that we kind of have a nice balance here where we've got a Swords card, a Pentacle card, a Wands card, and then a Major Arcana card. So I feel like for you, part of your journey to abundance is coming into balance with yourself and with the world. And I feel like this is like, the message I'm getting is like, this is like coming into balance with yourself and then coming into balance with the world, but also having these things really working well together. So like you can start to understand how your energy is both impacted by your environment, but also how your energy impacts the environment. Like what I'm getting is like, one, making sure you're putting yourself in abundant situations. So, or places where like you feel supported, like you feel like you are at least on the path to abundance, whether it be like a healthy work environment, right? Because yes, you can have a job that makes a lot of money, but that's where, money isn't the only piece of abundance. If you are feeling drained of energy all day, if it feels like a very suffocating environment, that's not supportive to your overall abundance. And vice versa, how you show up in the world is going to impact the path that you're on. If you show up optimistic and looking for opportunities, you're more likely to find them, as opposed to if you show up pessimistic and expecting things to go wrong. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, feel like forcing the good feelings. It just means looking for the positive, even in the negative, and acknowledging both, but choosing to believe that you are rising up, if that makes sense. So now, getting into this path a little bit more concretely, here with the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is a character who is very intelligent and very logical. Like, this is a king who makes a plan. But the thing with this king is he also understands the value of intuition and emotion. So this is not like, this is a healthy character, especially when he shows up in the upright. So that means he is very willing to tap into intuition, to tap into emotion, and use them to support his decisions. So I feel like for you, the beginning of your abundance journey is almost realizing like you need to downplay the emotional charge that you might have around abundance. For a lot of you, I am getting more specifically towards money. Like if you have like a negative feeling around it, it's like a stressful thing. It kind of triggers bad emotions and feelings within you. I think the first phase of your journey is realizing, yes, those are valid feelings, but they don't get to guide this ship. I need my brain to come on board a little bit more. I need to be more strategic about my relationship with wealth and abundance. And I need to be more strategic about how I'm going to get there. So it's like the first step isn't even like putting yourself in a place where like you love money and money loves you. I mean, of course, that's where we all want to get to, but it's just getting yourself to a place where like money can at least be neutral, and it can just be a tool, and it can be something that you use strategically. So like I feel like that's kind of like where it's going to start for you, as you have this realization that like you don't like the emotional charge that you have around money. So the first step is to just not have an emotional charge. We'll get to the point where it feels good, but first it's about stepping back and just being like, yeah, this isn't going to drive and control me anymore. And it's going to put you in a place where you get to be more strategic about things. Now, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, what I got when this card came out was there's a need to stop resisting the slow and steady pace of things. Now, when I say that, this doesn't mean things have to take a long time. I say that a lot on this channel because I feel like it's something that we all really need to hear. Time is always relative. So if you go into a situation being afraid something's going to take a long time, it might put you in an energy of like, oh, well, I need to do a lot. I need to rush. I need to do as much as I can so I can make this move shorter and I can reach my abundance goals faster. This card is telling you not to do that. The Knight of Pentacles, it's a slow and steady character. This is the slow and steady wins the race character. And I feel like this card coming up in the reverse is because, again, like you need to release resistance to that type of energy. Because what happens is, like, that's the whole tortoise and the hare story, right? It's that slow and steady wins. Like, slow and steady gets there faster. Slow and steady gets there first. And it's so counter to how we are taught in our society. Like, we're taught we have to push, we have to hustle. And the harder we work, the more we're rewarded. That's not true. This Knight of Pentacles is saying the more balanced you work, if there's that balance again, the more balanced you work, the more you are rewarded. The steadier you can create movement, the more you are rewarded. Again, like I feel like this will be the level when you start to have money coming in. You might not reach the abundance goals, but you will start to have money coming in. You will start to have more ease. You'll start to have more time. Like I'm also getting time is a big thing for this group, like creating an abundance of time. So the more you slow down, and of course, this isn't saying come to a grinding halt, but when you slow down and actually feel into what do I need to do right now? And how am I feeling? Do I need to rest? Because again, that's where the energy you bring to a situation matters. So if you can check in with yourself and go, okay, I do want to pursue my goals today, but I also need to rest. How can I create a space to do both? And what's coming up is rest first. Rest first is I feel like kind of always a good mantra to live by. And I will admit, this is something I've had a hard time learning. But whenever I do it, I then have more energy and I'm able to move forward with my dreams and goals. So letting go of resistance to slowing down, letting go of resistance to the idea that things take time. You're going to find if you just lean into the idea that they take time, they actually are going to move faster than you expect, which I know sounds a little bit backwards, but it's the release of resistance I think is really important for this card, for this phase of the journey. Now with the Five of Wands, what I'm getting with this card, we have, if you take a look at this, we have these two birds that are clearly in some kind of disagreement. And what I'm getting with this is like there's a need for you to kind of, again, like this is where you start to learn your beliefs about abundance, your beliefs about how you want to work, how you want to live, what abundance actually looks like for you. Because what I'm getting with this card is it's like, this is somebody, like this is you, like you're starting to fly, right? So you're on this journey, you kind of like this, to me, this Knight of Pentacles reverse lesson, this is kind of what flips the switch. This is what gets you going. And it puts you on a position where you are starting to fly, you're starting to rise up. And then what tends to happen is then someone comes along and they want to give you advice. They want to tell you, this is what you should be doing, or this is how it has to look. Like, yeah, you have some money, you have to do it a certain way. Your goal should be this, your goal should be that. Part of your journey, though, is stepping out of what other people are deciding abundance should look like and you deciding what it looks like for yourself. You really tapping into where do you feel safe, supported, and joyful. Because I think ultimately that's kind of the core of abundance, right? That's why we want it. Because abundance offers us a certain amount of safety and stability. And it offers us joy. We get to do joyful activities and experiences. It reduces our stress levels. So it's you kind of getting clear, though, on what that is to you, what and how you want to create that, the life you want to live to create that, and being able to stand firmly in that and not let other people come in and influence the direction you should be heading in. And this card is so cool to see. So the Death card coming up in the reverse, to me, again, like, so when the cards come up in the reverse, there's a few different interpretations for them. In this one, we had a resistance interpretation. In this case, I'm really feeling for you, this is an internal growth point. So it's like once you start standing on your own, and again, you will be rewarded for this. You will be rewarded for coming through and understanding like, this is what it looks like to me. This is what I need and want. And when you do that, you're going to start to trigger this internal shift. You're going to start to really change how you see abundance and how you go after abundance. Like to me, it's almost like this is the final step, but it's a result of all of these pieces where you start to really break down what hasn't been serving you, and you will have a powerful internal shift. I'm getting almost like this sense of safety that's going to come from abundance, that's going to come from what you're creating. It's like, this is, to me, this is when you really do exit like any hint of scarcity that you may have still been carrying. And I love that like we have this hourglass where it's like the skulls, which like I do think represent in this case like belief systems of yours that have died, and they are just going to trickle right down, trickle right out of you. And I want to take a moment to look this up, right? Because we have these skulls that are that are essentially blooming something beautiful. And I do think that energy is a part of you too, where it is like these, like all of these belief systems that you have held, everything that has kept you from being fully abundant in the past, you've nurtured it and you've worked with it by the time you get to this point that they just fall away and they turn into something really beautiful. But I think I almost feel like this is going to be something that feels very subtle to you. So don't feel like you have to force it. It's going to be the kind of thing that you're just going to turn around and go like, oh, wow, I actually don't believe that anymore. Like all of this work that got me to this place, like I just feel good. Like I just feel safe. I just feel supported. I just feel like the abundance that I need and want is always going to be there for me. I just don't think it's going to be a big dramatic thing. It's just going to be one day you wake up and that's your reality, which I think is really, really light and really freeing. And I love that for you. Let's see what else we have for you. What else can you tell us about pile number 1's journey to abundance? Ooh. All right, that's more than I kind of want, but the way they came out, I just want to take them on. Quieting the mind. Yeah, this I feel like ties very much into this card, this 5 of Wands card, and also to a degree the King of Swords, because even though the King of Swords is like we're using your mind, to me, when you're quieting your mind, you're quieting the chatter in your mind, and that tends to be more emotion and physiologically driven. So like that's when you don't feel safe with money, you don't feel comfortable with abundance. That's when the mind chatter actually kicks up. So I feel like you want to quiet that chatter. If it's meditation, that helps, but also like walks in nature, like anything that feels meditative and grounding can be really good for you. Anything, also, this is one thing I've really come to learn. So I've done a lot of nervous system work. I've studied with someone pretty extensively. And one thing that I have found doing this work is that like most of the time when my mind is chattering, even if I don't feel like my nervous system is activated, but when my mind is really running, it's my nervous system that's activated. And when I do body soothing, nervous system soothing techniques, they calm my mind. Whether I feel activated or not, they calm my mind. And I know I'm ultimately soothing my nervous system. So that might be something to look into. Oh my gosh, look at this for you. We have roots of abundance. And I love too, we've got the roots coming up here on this Knight of Pentacles card. Yeah, this is your roots. What did I say? This Knight of Pentacles card, and we have this these two root images coming up. The Knight of Pentacles is your roots of abundance. Like that is where things start to really take hold. That is where things start to really take root. That is where you start to see real change and transformation. The butterflies I'm noticing here, which pretty much always represent change and transformation. So lean into those roots. Don't be afraid to plant them. Don't be afraid to explore them. And again, let them take the time they need to take root. You do not have to rush. Shining through. Again, this kind of leads to the message I was talking about in the introduction, but like you are not going to have to wait until you reach the end to be abundant. I feel like this is, to me, what I'm getting with this is you shining throughout. This is you shining throughout the process. The more you let yourself shine, the more abundant you will become. And it's like, it's also that leaning into joy. It's kind of like what we were just talking about, that joy is one of the reasons I think we're all seeking abundance, because of what we can do with it. So if you're able to step into that energy of joy earlier, that's how you start to align with it. And waking the lion. Yeah, I'm kind of getting this energy for you that it's like once you are awake, there is no turning back. Like once we get to the point where we're at this death reversed, you are not worried about your finances. You're not worried about your abundance. You're not worried about the opportunities. You're not worried about things drying up. Like you will have this confidence. You will have this proven history of like, you can do this. Like the lion will be awake. You are the lion in this metaphor. You will be awake and alert, and you will have confidence in yourself and your ability to call in as much as you want and need. All right, what else do we have for? All right, we've got one that came out for this. Oh my gosh. Patience. Yeah, I kind of was picking up that I think some of you might be resistant to that patience method or message earlier with the Knight of Pentacles here. So it doesn't really surprise me that this card has come out. There is just a need for you to be patient, for you to embrace the fact that the time is going to pass, and that for you to just kind of keep your head down and move forward slowly. Also, I'm not sure if you can see this. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up really well, but there is this very faint triangle. And to me, like when I see a triangle, it is this rising up. It is this upward motion. So it's that whole idea where patience is what will lift you up. You have to be patient with this journey. You have to be patient about your abundance goals, and just know, again, the more you can slow down, the better you are going to feel. And for some of you who are still resistant to this, the message I'm getting is, if working hard and moving quickly was going to lead you to abundance, you'd be there by now. Like you just would be. So Spirit's here to tell you it might be time to try something new. Last messages for pile number 1. What else do we have for pile number 1? I feel like I want that one. First up, self-care. Spoil yourself in the moonlight. And we've got the moons that came up with that patience card. So yeah, again, taking care of yourself and finding that balance is so crucial to your abundance, because that is putting you in an energy where you are feeling good about yourself. So do not be afraid. Do not see this as a waste to slow down, to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to do what you need to feel good and feel supported. Inspire. There's a fire burning bright inside. There's fire burning inside you brighter than the sun. Yes. And I feel like part of this message is for you to go with what inspires you. Like, again, this is like getting out of what other people are telling you. Because when I saw this card with the fire burning, I thought of these flames that we have on the Wands card here. And I do feel like this is like you are being encouraged to go with what is sparking you. I feel like there's something about your path to abundance that might be a little bit unconventional. That's why you do kind of have to dig in when we reach this phase. But you're really being encouraged to follow your inner fire and to trust that the things that inspire you are inspiring you for a reason. Encourage. Wish upon a star and release all limiting beliefs. I feel like this is kind of the crux of your journey. One, it does take courage. It does take this from you, but when you have the courage to move through this, when you have the courage to start this journey and to continue to move through it, you are going to release all these limiting beliefs. And that is your path to true abundance, because that's ultimately, I think, part of what's holding you back. A large part of what's holding you back is certain limiting beliefs. I think about how much you have to be working and what abundance might really look like for you. But just getting into, and I think there's a little bit more. It's going to be very specific to each of you, but there's just a need to kind of dig into what those limiting beliefs are around abundance and just slowly work through them. Like, there's no rush. The more roots you plant, the more you take care of yourself, the more balance that you call in, the stronger your abundance becomes and the stronger you become. And on that note, pile number 1, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personalized reading, you can find those linked in the description box below. I also do have coaching sessions and live readings available. All of those are on my website, which again is in the description box below. If none of those options are right for you, but you do want to support the channel, I do have a donation link below. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and they just go to support the growth of the channel. But either way, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your journey to true abundance. 1 came out already. Let's see. What else do we have for pile number 2 and their journey to true abundance? This one's calling to me. All right. I'll take those. Okay, so first up, we have the 2 of Wands, followed by the 7 of Pentacles. Next, we have the 4 of Swords, the Star, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. So overall, I think it's really interesting that all of your cards are upright. So to me, this is a little bit more about like kind of actions that you can be taking. Like there is some internal work that I'm getting that I think we're going to touch on, but it's more about like really taking outward movement towards your abundance and actually like taking control of your life, of the reality that you want. And I feel like again, the 2 of Wands is already starting to say things to me, but it's like there's this need to kind of get clear on what you want and move towards it, but also move towards it in a really steady way. These cards here do not have a fast-paced energy about them, and when I get that, I don't mean it's necessarily going to take you a long time to reach your abundance goals, but it's more about you're not supposed to be moving too quickly. And that's the message that honestly has been coming up a lot for me in different types of abundance readings. It came up to a degree in the last group too, where it's like I feel like all of us were like I feel like there is this kind of collective shift in how we want to be living in our world, and we're starting to see like the hard work or the need to hard work, overproduce for the lie that it is. Like we don't have to work hard to generate a healthy income. And I think that's a really important part of your journey, is truly understanding that. So you don't have to be rushing around. You don't have to be doing a lot to make this happen. Your abundance journey is about moving steadily, about locking in on what you want, having faith in your ability to make it happen, and then taking practical, tangible steps to bring that into being. Let's break this down now. So first, for the first card here, this Two of Wands. This is a card of making plans. This is a card even with a little bit of daydream energy. Like even if you look at this character, she's like gazing wistfully out the window. She's got a globe here. She's got like a van with a surfboard. Like this is someone who's making plans for fun. And like honestly, to a degree, for abundance. Like this is somebody who is looking at the possibilities in the world and just deciding like, what do I want to do? What do I want to make happen? It's a very light and playful energy too. Like it's a spark. So I feel like for you, it's kind of the first part of your journey is one, getting clear on what you want, but also really seeing the world and the universe as like an open catalog that you can order from. And it's time to step into the energy of fully seeing your power, fully seeing and believing your ability to create this abundance for yourself. But also, again, like this playfulness and fun is really important. Like you want to be moving towards things that really make you happy. And when you move in that direction, this is where I feel like you're going to find opportunities to be fully supported in that endeavor. But it's rooted in joy. And it's interesting. I was saying this to the last group because I kind of meant to say this in the introduction. But one thing I was thinking about before I started filming this video is ultimately what I think why most of us really want abundance is it's not usually about the monetary stuff and the tangible, the material stuff, though that's nice. It's about what's underneath. And I think what's underneath the desire for abundance is a desire for safety, stability, and joy. I think that's really what the biggest things that abundance brings us, right? The safety and stability to know we always have what we need, and the joy to know we can always do what we want. And I feel like for you, it's leaning into that joy energy that is going to really help you on your path to abundance. But it all starts with getting clear on what you want, really knowing like the universe, like the world is at my fingertips. Like that is the other thing with this globe. In this character, the world is literally at her fingertips. And I feel like that's true for you too. The world is at your fingertips. And if you can't quite believe that right now, pretend. Like if you could do anything, if you could live in a world where you could do anything, what would you do? What would you move towards? And then once you know that, we're moving on to the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is about planting seeds. Now this is again what I was talking about before about understanding you don't have to rush through this process. Like the Seven of Pentacles is not a rushing card. The Seven of Pentacles is I'm going to plant the seeds and I'm going to trust that those seeds are going to take root and grow into something beautiful, grow into something magical. And I love like we kind of have this person, like there's, if you can see it, there's a little bit of like this golden light coming from their hand. So it's like this person is understanding their nurturing power. They're understanding what they bring to the table here and that they have the power to make a shift like this. That if they are steady and consistent with what they are offering this plant, the plant's going to grow. So once you know what you want to grow and move towards, it's about planting those seeds and nurturing them. Again, knowing you don't have to rush. You don't have to do anything quickly. When you do things steadily, things happen. And I say this as somebody who has in the past really put like pedal to the metal to try to make things happen. And it was always the more I tried, the less things moved. It's always in letting go that I see shifts, and I see that in other people too. So this is, to me, it's about stepping into an intentional nurturing energy. Like, yes, take the aligned action, plant the seeds that you need to plant, but then know it's going to take some time for these things to grow and showing up with an intention of allowing them to grow. And that if you do that, it's going to lead you where you want to be. So there's an element of trust, I feel like, too, that's coming up, that you have to trust yourself for the decisions that you're making. And you have to trust the universe that if things feel good to you, it's because the universe is putting things in your path. So because the universe is putting things in your path, you're going to be supported in this endeavor. Now with the Four of Swords, this was the other card that was really talking to me and giving me an impression of slowing down. The Four of Swords is a card of rest. If you look at this character, she's got like these beautiful like tattoos over her, but they're on her pants too. They're flowers. I'm not sure if you can see this. I've never noticed this before about this card, but there are like flowers blooming all over her. She is resting and there is growth. And I think that's a really important message for you. Again, is that you don't have to be doing everything. You can step back and rest. You can step back and take care of yourself. And when you do that, things are still growing. You've planted the seeds. You've nurtured them. You don't have to keep checking in on them. You have to give them room to grow. And it's in this slowing down that I feel like is also really magical for you. I think like this is also part of your abundance journey, is that like you're creating an abundance of time for yourself. You're creating more space for yourself. And also when you do that, you're creating more energy for yourself. And I feel like I'm getting your abundance journey, I feel like is very much tied to your personal evolution. Because what I'm getting is it's like, as you slow down, there's this element of reconnecting to yourself. And that's what leads us to the star here. I feel like as you reconnect to yourself, like the star really speaks to the authentic self coming through in a beautiful, like magical way, and just owning that. Like this character is harnessing the stars. And I feel like that's kind of the energy that you get into. Like once you can slow down, there's this beautiful reconnection to yourself. Because you're resting, like there's this desire, part of your journey is like resting and taking better care of yourself. And once you do that, it almost is like the sky opens up for you. And I don't mean this in like a downpour kind of a way. And it's like you look up and you see all the possibilities, like you see all the stars you didn't notice before because you weren't looking there. You were too busy like running around doing things, trying to make things happen. There's this energy of like seeing the magic in the world, and it actually deeply connecting to you in a way that helps your authentic self come out, your authentic self be seen. And all of that, I think, is very much tied to your abundance journey. I'm not quite sure how. I feel like it's going to be unique to each of you. For some of you, there is an element of like, as your authentic self emerges, you're being encouraged to share that with the world more. And that is going to be very supportive of your abundance journey. But for others of you, it's simply you getting into this more authentic energy is what's going to call the abundance in. And now here with the Ace of Cups, this is new relationships. It can mean a few things, but new relationships is what's coming up really strong for me in this case. And I feel like for some of you, like if you are single, you might find yourself with a new, like, healthy, loving relationship at the end of all of this, like the one. If you are not, I do feel like it's meeting your relationship in a new way. It's like because you've gone on this authentic journey, you have slowed down, you've reconnected to self, you have found a new layer of your authentic self, and it's going to add a new layer of authenticity to your connection. And this could even be true for all of your connections, honestly. There's just this like magical heart awakening. Like I love that we have this heart focused in the card. And it is like, I feel like I'm getting like you are more willing to be vulnerable. You are more willing to offer your heart forward. And it's when you do that, you are creating opportunities for things to come to you. And I think we do that because, or one reason like how this is all connected is because you feel supported. It goes back to what we were talking about. Why do we want abundance? One reason is safety and support. This is giving that to you. Like when you reach the end of your abundance journey, you are going to naturally feel more open, more expressive, and it's going to lead to deeper connections across the board. And that interpretation there, I think, is true for everybody, no matter if you're in a relationship or not, that any connection you have, you're just going to be more open and expressive with it. And if you are in a position like we talked about with the star, if you identify with that first interpretation of being seen more, putting yourself in a position like your authentic self being seen and sharing that with the world, I think you're going to find that you are more willing to share things. Like the deeper you get in, like you will share more and more vulnerable things. Again, keep boundaries. Like I'm not saying just be vulnerable for vulnerability's sake. Honor your own boundaries, but I feel like you're going to reach a point where that's going to feel more natural to you. But that's, again, that interpretation is not for everybody. So be discerning. Let's see what else we've got for you. Oh, one came right out. Is that one or two? It's one. Let's get you another one for, let's see, pile number 2. All right, I'll take both of them. All right, first we have bearing fruit, which, yes, I feel like this is like, to me, this I feel like is going to come in like at this stage of your journey. This bearing fruit is going to be after you started nurturing things. Like it's kind of like we talked about before in the intro, where you don't have to wait to get to the end to start seeing abundance. And I do feel like you are going to see the fruits of your labor pretty early on, which is really exciting. And I think it's also going to be really encouraging for you. So just know that, yeah, you don't have to wait till the end. You don't have to wait till the end of the road to receive abundance. It's just when you really reach like peak abundance, where you are truly in total abundance energy, this is the journey. Awakening genius. Yeah, like that, honestly, this makes like this, to me, this awakening genius energy is what's happening here. It's like as you go on your abundance journey, you see that you're more and more supported and you get more of a deeper connection to self. And it is like the genius within you is waking up. Like I'm honestly with the star energy. No matter what, I feel like you are going to create something really magical at this stage. Like there is just going to be something that emerges from you that's so supported. And it's like, and it's because you've reached a point where you're feeling safe enough to, like you on your abundance journey, you've created enough safety for yourself that you can lean into this energy and your genius can fully awaken. And there can be something like this just feels very intuitive. Like you're resting, you're taking care of yourself, you're hearing yourself better, your authentic self is emerging more fully. And you just have this kind of real expansive creation period. And for most of you, I do feel like this might be artistic to some degree or creating something like maybe being a content creator or whatever. But for others of you, like this can be creating anything. I always like to say that creative energy, it's not just artistic. It can also be like engineering can be creative. Business can be creative. If you are creating a business, like that is creating something. So there's lots of different types of creativity. But I do feel like for a lot of you, I am getting more of an artistic vibe, especially just because of how colorful this is. But again, it doesn't have to be. Oh, and look at more colors, but also we have this rose energy of things blooming for you. And yeah, I feel like I think it's interesting too, like this is kind of like, it's giving me heart opening energy, like just the colors that we've got coming up in these 2 cards at the heart center here are very similar, very similar. But also we had the roses and the flowers on the 4 of Swords here. So I do feel like there is just an opening. Again, there's just this expansive energy that I feel like I feel like that's your journey. It's an opening. It's an opening to the possibility of more. It's an opening to your own ability to create this. And it's an opening to things happening when you are not actively making them happen. Like it's getting to a place like, yes, you've taken the initial steps, but once you do that, you don't have to keep pushing it and tending to it excessively. Like, yes, there's nurturing, but you don't have to keep like, okay, so here's the energy I'm getting. It's like, okay, on YouTube, I post a video, it goes live. I kind of check in on it just to make sure everything went off like it's supposed to, but I don't sit there refreshing the comments and refreshing the numbers to see how it's doing. I let it go. So there's this idea of, yes, you nurture it. I try to show up every week for you. I try to make videos consistently. I try to do what's necessary to grow this space, but I'm not obsessing over it either. And I think that's kind of the energy that you're really getting into. And I'm not saying you were obsessing previously, but it's just getting into this really healthy understanding that like, I just have to do my part and the universe will take care of the rest. And that leads to expansion because you have more time and energy to give to other things. Let's see what else we have for you. Pile number 2. Is this 2 cards? It is. Exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Okay, courage. Yes, this is going to take some courage. And actually, I feel like it's definitely in the later stages, there is some courage here. Anytime you are being more authentic, it requires courage, especially in this society where we have kind of really tried to stamp that out of people. I feel like now we are more leaning into authenticity more than ever, but culturally, it's taken us a long time to get here. And anytime you are going to step into your authentic power, that is going to take courage. But I also feel like there's a good deal of courage needed here at the start of the journey too, because you are doing things differently than you have before. Like, again, there's this need to be more slow and intentional. And I think that can be scary, especially when we've been conditioned that this is how you achieve abundance. This is how you achieve success, is you do a lot. You show up, you push hard, you work really hard. You don't rest, not until things are done, not till the job is done. So it takes a lot of courage to decide, no, I'm going to do things differently. No, I'm going to really prioritize my joy. I'm going to show up and I'm going to take care of myself. So there is some courage that is being called on you, or you are being called to step into. And quick silver moon changes. Yeah. I don't think I need to interpret this too much. Like there's shifts that need to be made, but I feel like it's, again, with all of these upright cards, it's how you operate. Those are the shifts that need to be made. I don't feel like your belief system is actually too far off. Like I think your belief system, I do think you probably have a healthy belief in abundance and in what's possible for you, but it's more about now shifting the beliefs about how you get there and the actions that you need to be taking, if that makes sense. And last messages for pile number 2. What do we have for pile number 2 last messages? We've got dream, wish upon a star. This is that first stage to me, but also you want to keep nurturing and cultivating that throughout this journey. You're going to, as you move through this journey, your dreams may change, and that's okay. But the point is, you always want to be moving towards things with this dreamful, wistful, excited, joyful energy. You want to be moving towards, like, again, it's your dream future. And it's okay if that dream alters and takes new shapes as you move on this journey. Always come back to that dreaming space. That dreaming energy is very important for you. I'm getting is staying in that dreamy, magical world of possibilities where you can make anything happen. And inspire. Oh, also too, I didn't even notice we have wish upon a star and you have the star card. And we were talking about the stars and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, staying in that dreamy energy at all phases is really, really crucial. We've got inspire. There's a fire inside you burning brighter than the sun. Yes. And I feel like that is also, that's, to me, this is like what you are really being called on to lean into. I think sometimes, especially with this dream card coming up, I think sometimes in our society, or maybe not even sometimes, maybe most of the time, dreams can be dismissed as being not important or not practical. But the reality is that spark inside us is burning for a reason. That dream is calling us for a reason. If something is inspiring us, it's because it's what we have to offer the world. It's because it's what we can, what really sets our soul on fire. And when we ignore it, we're shutting ourselves down. So when you're being called to lean into the things that inspire you, lean into the things that excite you and nurture those things, and that ultimately that is your path to true abundance. And on that note, pile number 2, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future readings. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can find that linked in the description box below on my website. I also do offer live tarot readings and coaching sessions, transformational tarot coaching sessions. All of that is on my website, which again is linked below. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your journey to true abundance. Let's see. So we've got 3 cards that came out for you. Let's get 1 or 2 more. It's way more than 1 or 2 more, so we'll take the top card. Okay. So first up, we have Akashic Records Reversed, which is a very unique card to this deck. We'll talk about that. We've got the Lovers Reversed. We have the Four of Crystals, which is the Four of Pentacles in this deck. And we have the Nine of Crystals, which is the Nine of Pentacles in this deck. So that's a great card to come up in an abundance reading. So overall, I think this is really interesting. I feel like you kind of have a balanced, because we have two reversals, two upright cards. So what I'm getting for you with that is that there's some inner work to do, but then there's also some external like action you can be taking as part of your journey to the true abundance. And what I'm getting to is it does go with, part of it is tied to your beliefs, but it's also about going into your inner knowing, going into kind of separating what society is telling you is true about abundance and actually getting clear on what do you know to be true. And that's really what this Akashic Records card is telling me. So let's just dive into the cards because I'm already getting a lot for you. So with this card coming up, so with the Akashic Records card, this is very much, when it's upright, it's about like using your inner knowing and to take action. When this card comes up in the reverse, what I'm getting is this is like going inward, going into what you know to be true, your truth of the universe. Again, it's really separating what people are telling you is true and honing in on your truth and your actual belief system. Because I feel like it's actually different from what society has told you. I think if you take the time to go inward and uncover what do you actually believe about abundance, and this is all kinds of abundance, about money, about time, about all of it. What do you actually believe? So a really big starting point for your abundance journey is just getting clear on your own personal views and beliefs. Now, of course, keep in mind, sometimes we have to really shed the beliefs that have been forced on us. So this might take a little bit of time. For some of you, it might be as simple as the awareness factor. Like, oh, someone did tell me this. This is what I believe. And like, you're all in, you're good to go. For others of you, it's going to take more time to shed those layers and belief systems that have really been pushed on you. This is especially true if family has really projected beliefs on you. Like one thing that's coming up is like the belief of like time is money. So if you feel like you're in that like hustle place and you have to work hard for money or any kind of abundance, this journey is uncoupling that and going into like, what do you actually know to be true? What does your soul know to be true? So there's a real deep need for connection to self and connection to your path, which leads us to the Lovers here. The Lovers reversed. So I have a couple messages. Like one, when this card comes up in the reverse, it is typically a self-love card. And I do think there's a piece of that here for you. The more you love yourself, the more you are cultivating abundance around you. The more you are nurturing your own worth, the more you are nurturing the abundance, again, around you, the more you are calling in abundance, specifically financial abundance. But I think it really is true for abundance in all forms. But what I heard from this card when it came out of the deck was making a commitment to yourself and really honoring the commitments you make to yourself. Because that's the thing about the Lovers, is it is also a card of commitment. It is a card of really like locking in on something, anchoring in is actually what I'm getting, is that it's anchoring in on what's important to you and what commitments do you want to make to yourself. So if there's a commitment for a certain life you want to have, this is about committing to making that happen for you. And again, there's this need to kind of like set aside the naysayers, set aside society, set aside anyone in your circle who wants to tell you how it has to be and how things have to look, how your life has to look, and what abundance has to look like for you. Because again, like I feel like it's different. Even for some of you, I feel like it's like you may have had projected onto you that you have to have a lot of money to feel abundant. And while yes, that can be a part of your future and a part of your story, but again, abundance is an energy. So it's not necessarily about having a lot of stuff. It's about feeling supported And I've been trying to make a point to say this to all the groups because I meant to say this in the intro, but I feel like it's always important to get to the root of why we want abundance. And ultimately, it usually isn't for the material things. Yes, those are nice, but at the root of abundance typically is a desire for safety, stability, and joy. Right? When we have those material things and we have the money coming in, we have all of that good stuff, we have that safety and stability. And joy, like that freedom to do whatever we want, to go where we want, to explore what we want, to do whatever. And this is something that we need. Again, time, energy, money, companionship sometimes. So there are things that I feel like are really important for you to get clear on. Again, it's what does the abundance look like to you, and to love yourself enough to go after those goals and not the goals that, again, other people may have projected onto you and try to steer you towards. So it's, again, there's just this energy of coming back to yourself, of a deep reconnection to self. Like, I am getting meditation might be really important. And this is the thing with meditation. Some people have a hard time with it, but the most effective meditation, and I've done a lot, like I've done different apps, and I still do guided meditations from time to time. They're nice. But what I have found to be the most effective meditation is literally just sitting and following my breath, like setting a timer for 10 minutes and just following my breath, feeling the ground under me. And when I notice that I lose that focus, I come back to it. And it doesn't even have to be 10 minutes. It can be 5 minutes if you're starting out. Also, walking meditations, like it's anything that kind of takes your brain out of your brain and into your body. And it's anything that connects you to your body more directly can be considered a form of meditation. So don't feel like it has to be fancy. Don't feel like it has to be some guided meditation that you have a hard time focusing on. The point of meditation is to take you out of the head, out of overthinking, out of overanalyzing, out of filtering through other people's opinions, and bring you back to yourself. Now with this Four of Crystals, this is really interesting to me. So the Four of Crystals, when it comes up, this is typically a card that speaks to, like, you've reached a certain level of success. Like the fours are all kind of that first stage of success. However, with the Four of Crystals, like we even have this person, like he's like kind of holding on to, like he's keeping, we've got, I don't know if you can see, so we've got the crystals here represented by moons. So we've got, or maybe, yeah, they look like moons to me. So we're going to go with it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And this person, like, they're not really holding it, but they're keeping it close. And the Four of Crystals can speak to like holding on a little too tightly to that first level of success. So you've gotten the first level of success. Maybe you have some financial income, you've had some financial gain, but it's like then you're afraid to spend it. Then you're like, you feel like you have to hoard it a little bit. And I love that we've got this light coming down, because to me, what I'm kind of getting is for you, an important part of your journey is reaching this level of success and understanding that you don't have to grip too tight, because ultimately this person in this particular depiction is not gripping too tight. They're keeping their moons, their crystals close to them, but they're not actually holding on to them. And this light is kind of giving me the energy of like divine guidance. So there's a little bit of trust that comes in with your abundance journey. It's like once you get on your journey, one belief that's going to be really important for you to lock in on and adopt is the belief that there's always more where this came from. The belief that the universe is here taking care of you. The universe put you on this path. You have to keep moving on it. You have to keep staying connected to yourself, moving towards what feels good and true for you. But as long as you're doing that, the universe is going to give you more. So there's never this like, I feel like once you get on this place, when you're getting at this Four of Crystals level, there's this importance to not feel so constricted by that, to know and have faith that there is more coming to you. And adopting that belief is, I think, going to be a very, very important part of your abundance journey. because that is leading you to this beautiful Nine of Crystals. So the Nine of Crystals, or the Nine of Pentacles, is all about having, like, reaching success, like a good deal of success. Technically, there's still one more stage, and that's like success for generations. But like when you've reached the Nine of Crystals, you have made it. This is peak abundant energy, okay? This is having it all. And I love how she has her arms open, like wide. There's an openness and acceptance here. So I do feel like it's like reaching a state of openness with whatever comes to you is going to be really, really important for your journey, is having this like fluidity about you and being a part of the flow of abundance. So again, there's this need to really emphasize, like, you don't have to hoard anything. You don't have to keep anything close. You can let it flow. And when you let it flow and reinvest that into yourself, you're going to be so taken care of. You are always going to have more come to you, and you're going to get to enjoy it. So yeah, there's just this real message for you of like not gripping too tight and leaning into joy. And I'm also getting to, like, because joy does seem like a really important part of, I think it's an important part of anybody's journey, but like one message I'm getting is you don't have to wait till you get to this Nine of Crystals phase to experience joy with this abundance, with any abundance that comes in along the way. You're being encouraged to enjoy what you're creating for yourself. You're being encouraged to nurture what you're growing, and nurturing joy is part of that. It's part of the abundance journey. So, maybe you don't want to be like going on like several $1,000 trip on a regular basis while you're still like at this phase of the journey. But there are small things you can do as you start to increase your abundance that you can like kind of pay it forward, pay it back to yourself, enjoy life, nurture yourself. And just really calling that energy in, because the more time you spend in that kind of energy, the better your flow is going to be. The more stuff's going to flow to you. I feel like I'm also getting to the more inspired you're going to be, the more you're going to be able to like have new ideas of how you can create even more abundance for yourself. And it feels very fun and playful and expansive, which I think is just such a beautiful, beautiful place to be. All right. Well, I didn't even get to ask the question, but yeah, we're looking for more information on your journey to true abundance. We have one card come out already. Let's get one more, at least one more. All right, we had a bunch came out, so we'll take the top card. Okay. First off, we have great and full. So yeah, so one, of course, there's the idea of grateful. So I feel like gratitude is going to be very important for you along this journey, is even if you have more to go, really cultivating a really strong gratitude practice. So this could mean, maybe at the end of each day, you reflect on your day and you come up with like 5 things that you're grateful for. I also think like everything that comes to you, I feel like you're really being encouraged to say thank you. And I mean like small things too, people you interact with, like leading with that attitude of gratitude is actually going to help really open up your energy. And it's opening up the flow for you. So leaning into abundance, because I'm really being drawn to how we've got this like wine that's like splashing out. And again, there's just this like flow. It's like this is kind of like flowing into the cup. And it's a very full cup. Like that's part of this full. It's like it's a very full cup. So I think also too with that is really taking care of yourself in this process. Self-care is coming up as being important because you have to nourish yourself. Like you do have to fill your cup first, which I know we've all heard that saying, but it's true. And for you, I feel like one message I'm getting, I don't think this is going to be for everyone, but take it if it resonates. One message that is important for you to hear is that you don't have to wait until you've reached your abundance goal to take care of yourself. It's actually important that you do that along the way. And the more you take care of yourself and nurture yourself, the further along this path you will go. And next here we have It Is What It Is. And okay, so I'm getting a couple messages. Like I love that we have this card where like we have this perspective where we're like on this path leading to this door that has this like kind of magical aura to it. So I do feel like there's 2 messages with this. So one is with the general words that we have here, it is what it is. You don't have to make things what they're not. So if you are someone who is prone to like putting on a happy face when things suck and are hard, or really pretending things are okay when they're not, you don't have to do that. Like there are a few schools of thought in law of attraction. But ultimately what I have found is different things work for different people, and different things work for different people at different times. So, for example, some people will say, you really need to stay in the energy and the frequency of what you want to attract, and like really believe that it's yours already, be there, like what would it feel like, and like live that life kind of the energetically before you have what you have, or before you have what you want. And that does absolutely work. However, if you have a hard time putting yourself in that mindset, like that's too much of a leap, and it's hard then to call in what you want, because then I find people get like frustrated because they can't get in the energy, and they're frustrated with themselves, and it actually kind of pulls their energy down and makes their energy constrict even further, which we don't want. So another approach with this, it is what it is the idea that like you are where you are and it's okay. Like it's releasing resistance to where you are right now. So coming to a place of like, this is where I am right now. And maybe it's not where I want to stay, but it's where I am and it's okay. Like there's only up from here. Like I'm deciding there's only up from here. So one message for a lot of you is to make peace with where you are and just accept it. Like you don't have to force it. You don't have to change it. Try not to feel bad about it. At best, if you can feel neutral about it, it's reaching a state of neutrality about your current situation. Now, the second piece of this is that like, there is more ahead of you. There is a door that I think is closer to you than you realize. I think for most of you, you are either on the brink of this journey or you're further along this journey than you realize. Like you may have been doing this inner work subconsciously or subtly and not even really noticing it until maybe this moment. So for some of you, what I'm getting with this imagery here is just that you are closer to the door. You're closer to unlocking really big, meaningful changes in your life. And you're just being asked to kind of keep the faith on that and keep moving along this journey, along this path with an open heart and an open mind. Okay. All right, we've got cleansing. So what I'm getting with this is like, it needs to kind of refresh. So if you have static energy or there's things in your life that are feeling static, like I feel like there's a need to release them, because that's ultimately going to make room for more abundance. And there's just a need to shed. Like I am getting like if you're into smoke cleansing, doing some of that around your space, or like especially like I'm filming this in the spring, but this is true for any time. But like if you feel compelled to do spring cleaning, even if it's not spring for you, that energy of spring cleaning, of really doing a deep clean of maybe your living space, or cleaning out, a cabinet or a drawer that's been really bothering you. There's an energetic shift that happens when you release like that, when you release physical things. You are also shifting your energy in that way. And I feel like there's this need for a little bit of a cleansing of your physical environment in some form. And in doing that, you are also shifting the energy a little bit. And you are, again, you're making more room. And that just feels important right now. Okay, last messages for pile number 3. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love when this happens. So we've got phases. Shine even when you're not whole. What were we saying about you don't have to wait till you reach this 9 of Pentacles to enjoy things, and to be like the version of you that embodies that energy. You can shine now. You can claim that energy now along this journey. And the more you do it, the more that it's going to call it in. But again, it can be in smaller ways. Like you can, and I guess too what I'm getting at, because like we talked about just being like you need to accept where you are, and that's true, but that doesn't mean you can't find joy where you are. I think that's a really, like that just feels like a really important part of your journey is shining before you have everything you want, before you are at the finish line, and cultivating a perspective of really living in the moment. And like I feel like that's how we enjoy the journey, right? Is that you live in the moment and you claim the joy along the way. Boundaries, put a ring around yourself and your energy. To me, that goes back to this commitment to yourself. So boundaries are going to be really important to you. And I feel like part of it is boundaries with yourself. So if you say you're going to do something for yourself, you show up and do it. If you say this is something that's a priority to you, you protect that plan. You make sure you're prioritizing it. And if people want to do things with you during that time, you say no. These boundaries, though, can also happen, like we talked about earlier, about people who may have projected their own abundance belief onto you, and those beliefs aren't serving you. You may have to put boundaries with those people, especially in the early stages while you are really cultivating your own belief system and uncovering your own belief system. You just may need to pull back a little bit. It's this idea of putting a ring around yourself and your energies. It doesn't have to be forever if those are relationships that are valuable to you in other ways, but for the short term, just stepping back so you can kind of nurture your own energy and just get clear and really grounded into those new beliefs. I think it's going to be really valuable to you. And next we have Thrive. There's enough space for the moon and her stars not to tear each other down. Okay, so I feel like this is really more connected to that inspiration we were talking about. Like as you move through this journey, that I feel like you are going to feel more inspired. And I think it's important for you to know that it's important to follow those inspirations. It's okay if someone's doing something similar. It's okay if someone is doing something that you feel like you might be competing with them. There's only competition if you decide to compete. You can just stay in your own lane and do your own thing. There's enough room for everybody. Like we're all here with our unique gifts. We're all going to connect with different people, or in some cases, even the same people. I forget who it was that said it, but I took a course at some point, and the person had said, like her experience was that people who are in communities are in many communities. So especially like in the online space, not that your inspirations have to be online, but people, we overlap. Like just because you can be someone who likes my tarot readings, and you can like somebody else's tarot readings. You don't have to be exclusive to one person. So we can be doing similar things in the world, and we can even have people who are interested in similar people. We don't have to compete with anybody. We can decide there's enough room for all of us to thrive. And that really is, that is a peak abundant mindset. So that might also be something that's really important for you to cultivate, is getting into this space where everyone can succeed, and truly, truly knowing that, and knowing you are not in competition with anybody and no one is in competition with you. There is room for all of us. And on that note, pile number 3, I want to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personal reading, I do have those available on my website, linked below. I also have live readings and coaching sessions available. All of the details are in the description box. And also, if a reading or experience is not right for you, but you do want to support the channel, I do have a donation link below. Donations are never expected, but they're always appreciated, and they all just go back to support the channel. But that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's see what your journey to true abundance looks like. What is Pile 4's journey to true abundance? Okay, well, you got all your cards in one go. Well, let's see what came out. So first up, we have the Tower, followed by Death and Temperance and the Empress. And then lastly, the Knight of Wands. My goodness, you have all of these major arcana cards, which tells me your path to abundance is going to be very profound. Like, very profound. I'm kind of getting that it could either be that you either had some like past life issues with abundance, trauma with abundance that like you're carrying into this life. So like this lifetime is kind of about healing that, or just perhaps things have happened to you in this lifetime that really damaged your relationship with abundance. And one of your biggest lessons in this lifetime is healing that, no matter where the trauma came from. And even if you don't feel like there is a lot of trauma there, it might be below the surface. Again, that's where the past life piece could come in. But I do feel like there is just a great abundant transformation for you in this lifetime. And I feel so expansive for you. Like it's a little bit intense, but I don't want that to scare you. It's intense because the level of transformation is so deep. And what's waiting for you on the other side is so rich and meaningful and supportive. So know that while this may be intense, and I suspect some of you are probably already in this journey, know that while this may be intense, again, you are putting yourself in a position to be rewarded. Also, I want to point out all of your cards came up in the upright. So to me, this is like things this is a more active relationship with abundance. This isn't just shifting beliefs. So that can be a part of this, but it is more about taking action. It's about noticing your actions and your relationship with abundance, and how you either use your abundance in the world or call it in. Like it's a much more tactile and active type of dynamic that I'm getting for you in this reading. So let's break this down card by card. First up with the Tower, I feel like part of your abundance journey is kind of going to start with like a very turbulent situation. So when the Tower comes up, it speaks to structures crumbling. It can feel very abrupt. It can feel very turbulent. It tends to be some kind of mainstay. So I feel like for you, it's like either a loss of a job, or some other type of like hard financial hit. And I do feel like this is financial for you, even though, like I've been saying to all the groups, I think I even said it in the intro, that we are exploring all forms of abundance. But for you, I feel like it's like the financial piece is the biggest piece. And it's like if you can get your hooks into that, everything else is going to come together for you. So for a lot of you, I do feel like there was some kind of hard hit to your finances that kind of will set off this journey. Even if you have, like, again, I feel like a lot of you do have some kind of past life trauma with abundance and money. So even if you're coming into that in this lifetime, your abundance journey is really going to be set off by some kind of Tower moment, some kind of financial loss, job loss, something that kind of shakes your financial stability. So that, I think that's just a phase. Like that might be this is just a turbulent phase. Like I'm not really seeing like an upside to say to that, except that it's the catalyst for you going on this journey. I do think there are always lessons to be learned. Like that's kind of the upside to everything, is that if we choose to embrace turbulent moments, as rough as they may be, there is something to be gained, even if you have to look for it. But ultimately, I feel like it's like this Tower moment comes in to challenge you, to challenge your beliefs, to challenge how you engage with abundance, and to actually get you to shift your patterns and behavior. So like for some of you, what I'm getting, and actually this is leading us to the Death card, like it's coming in to facilitate change, because that's really what the Death card is about. It's something has to die, something has to be released. And for you, I feel like it is your relationship with abundance that has to be released. It is how you interact. Look, this is where the thing though, getting ahead of myself. Like this reading is really, really fascinating. I'm excited about it. The idea of this release, like because this card is upright, to me, it's not just about your relationship, like internally with money and abundance. It's about how you engage with it. So like, for example, if you are somebody who hustles for money, who works really hard for money, part of your journey, especially with the Empress coming up here, we'll get to her in a moment, but part of your journey is recognizing you don't have to hustle so hard. It's actually changing how you choose to engage with money and abundance, if you see what I'm saying. So even if that specific example is not an issue for you, there is likely something that you are doing that's actually cultivating, like, I don't know if I want to say like unhealthy relationship with abundance, but it's not a type of relationship that's going to get you where you want to go. Let's put it that way. So this moment, this like the tower moment is here to help you to see that you did everything right, or you did everything how you're supposed to, and it didn't actually get you where you want to go. In fact, it did the opposite. And for you to have the true abundance that you crave, you have to change what you're doing. You have to change how you're engaging. And this can be a process, especially with temperance coming up here. This is going to be a process. I feel like there are layers to this. So don't feel like you have to go in and like completely overhaul everything you do. Take it one thing at a time. And I'll give you an example. So for me in the past, I've actually tried to do different tarot YouTube channels in the past. And because I've always felt called to YouTube, I love tarot on YouTube. I like consuming it. And I just always love the idea of doing this. And I've tried. But every time I did it in the past, I had this idea that, just to stay consistent, I need to get ahead. So I need to be recording a bunch of readings ahead of time. So I'm scheduled out and I'll never miss a week. And there's all of this stuff. So like I was hustling to maintain a schedule. Instead, when I started this channel, I was like, well, that didn't work for me before. Like I tried I think it was just 2 other channels. And each time working that way burnt me out. And I ended up having to take months off because I was trying to do like 3 or 4 videos a week, even if I was only posting 1 or 2, so I could get ahead. And I kept getting burnout and tired. And I would then have to take months off, and there was no consistency. Like the consistency I wanted, I could not create that way. So when I started this channel, I was like, I'm only going to work like the week of. Like I'm not going to work ahead. I'm going to make a video and then I'm going to post it that week. And if on occasion I need a week off, I'm going to take it. But I'm just going to do a week at a time. I'm not going to get ahead. And I've done that, and I've been able to be consistent and not burn myself out. Like I still feel good months later. I would have burned out by now on those other channels. So that's what I mean by changing your relationship with abundance and how you work. And I feel like that's going to be unique to each of you. That was just an example so you have an idea. Now with the Temperance card, this is what's telling me this is going to be a process. Now, again, I feel some really profound shifts for you. So this might take, and I don't want to scare you with this might take years to really unpack, to go on this journey. However, with that said, and as I've said before, this doesn't mean you won't experience abundance along the way. You won't see growth. You won't see progress. I'm talking, it might take years for you to actually reach like the actual level that you want, that you're aspiring to, that true abundant level. But that doesn't mean that you won't have joyful abundance and growth along the way. It's just, this is such a profound change. This is such a profound transformation. This is also a deeply healing transformation for you. It needs time. So with Temperance coming out, one, I feel like you're being told not to rush this. Take it one step at a time. Settle into it a little bit. And also the moon is really calling to me here. And I can't even remember if the traditional Temperance card has a moon. If it did, I haven't noticed it before. But this one's really speaking to me. So what I'm getting with this is you have to trust your intuition. Like part of your journey, I feel like is deepening your intuition and helping you to find your actual authentic path to abundance, because yours is not going to be what society says. Yours does not have a map. It doesn't mean you can't take pieces from society or from other people's plans, but I feel like there is something about your journey that is so specific to you that you have to feel your way through it. You have to feel really good about the direction that you're headed in. You have to cultivate, again, it's that feeling of abundance and knowing what does it feel like to you. And taking your time with that. I feel like for a lot of you, there's a need to cultivate safety around abundance. So it's not just the idea of like when money, or like money, but like any kind of abundance when it comes in, it's not just about calling it in. It's learning to feel safe with it. So nervous system work might also be really important and helpful to you. Now with the Empress, this is the card that like is kind of giving me the idea that there's a need to shift how you relate to abundance, because the Empress really speaks to ease. It speaks to nurturing. It speaks to rest. Like just look at this character. Like I love her. She has like such goddess energy here. And there's learning to do less. There's a need to understand that you do not have to be constantly doing and producing. to have abundance and to hold abundance. It is enough for you to have an idea and to nurture it, to take meaningful steps forward. It's not about rushing. Like, there's this big energy and a big message about slowing down. And also like that it's the journey to abundance that's supposed to be part of the fun. So again, it's that message of you don't have to wait till you get to the end. Like, you're going to have lots of wins and lots of really joyful, abundant experiences along the way. Don't feel like you have to rush to the end to get there, like to get to that level of joy. You don't. And speaking of joy, just because this is something I'm trying to make a point to say in each of the groups, because I meant to say it in the intro and I forgot. But the other thing that's really important, anytime we're talking about abundance and an abundance journey, is to get to the root of why we really want abundance. Because oftentimes it's not about the material stuff. It's more about underneath that, what abundance truly represents. I mean, it represents a lot, but I think 3 big things are safety, stability, and joy, right? If we have money, if we have resources, we're going to feel safe and stable. We're going to feel taken care of. We're going to feel like our needs are met. And if we have more than enough, if we have that abundance, we're also going to be able to do a lot and experience a lot, right? And this card is here to tell you that you don't have to wait till the end to have that. But it is a growth journey. And it's the message of truly embracing the journey. I feel like a lot of you in this group are very goal-oriented. And with the Empress coming up here, this is a message to drop into your feminine energy more. And everybody has both. But this is a message to drop into your feminine. And let yourself enjoy the journey. Because that's what the feminine does. The feminine enjoys the journey. She appreciates the end result, of course, but the feminine is more about enjoying what we do to get there and enjoying the experience of getting there. And when you enjoy the experience of getting there, you find more joy and abundance. Like, that's just how it works. So there's a lot of you being called to lean into joy and being called to lean into joy along the way. And that's leading us to this Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is forward motion. It's excitement. It's passion. I love that this one also kind of has like a mirrored image. So I do feel like it's like once you reach this level of Empress energy, that's going to be reflected back to you. So the more you can get into the Empress energy, the more you will be supported. The more your inner Empress will be supported. Again, regardless of your gender. This is about you learning to be more easeful. And when you do, that I feel like is going to really spark some kind of a passion in you. It's going to spark I'm almost getting like this is just the beginning. Like, your abundance journey, it is powerful, it is transformative, but it's like it's putting you on this higher plane. Where once you reach there, once you conquer this, because it does feel like a healing, it does feel like a conquering. Once you conquer this, there's this open road in front of you where you can do anything, where you can create anything. You can truly live from this deeply passionate place and move your life and your passions forward. It just feels very free. And I feel like that is kind of maybe the marker of you've reached your true abundant level, is when you feel a deep sense of freedom. When you feel a deep sense of you can do anything, be anything, go anywhere, that is when you will know you have truly reached your version of true abundance. Let's see what else we have for you. Ooh, group number 4, the cards are popping out here. Okay. First we have exposed and revealed. Okay, so this doesn't surprise me. And actually, because when I picked these cards up, I actually should have done them in the reverse. I'm going to put this card over here. I feel like there's going to be parts about this journey. I feel like this is almost coming out. I don't know if warning is the right word, but as a heads up for you, that there are going to be parts of this journey that are going to make you feel very vulnerable. Because to me, that's what exposed and revealed is. We even have this character, if you can see her in this eye, curled up in a very, a fetal position. There's a vulnerability about this card that I'm getting. It's like there are going to be parts of this process where you feel very vulnerable. And this card isn't here to scare you away from that. It's asking you to lean in. Because when these things come up, they're coming up to be healed. And like what I'm getting is it's like, let your heart be seen. Like I feel like for some of you, you may have been kind of containing your struggle, whether it be directly related to abundance or around it, but there's just this need to let your heart be seen, let yourself be seen, let your struggles be seen, let your wins be seen. Let yourself be, is this exposed and revealed? Like, yes, there might be things that are exposed, but it's like, it also reveals the true you. And the true you is magnetic and powerful. And that is, I think, also a form of this freedom that we're talking about. And next, also here we have tender embrace with number 22. So that number may be significant to you. You might see it when you are like on your way, on your journey. It could be a little wink from your guides that you are being supported and you are on the right path. But yeah, tender embrace. This is like, again, there's this almost like this tender, like there's this vulnerability that's coming through and like letting yourself be supported. We have these two elephants here who are like kind of loving on each other. Let yourself be open to support during this time. For some of you, I'm also getting like letting a partner support you in some way. And I feel like that can be like if you're with somebody, leaning on a partner a little bit. If you are not, if somebody comes in, being open to that. But yeah, just leaning on your people, I feel like is important for you, and being honest with your people. But also too, I'm being drawn to the colors that we have on these elephants. Even in that, like that's where there's this awakening of you. I feel like it's like that you're coming back to life. You're coming back online. It's when you are able to open up in that way. It's like you start to see the world in more color. See, what else do we have for pile number 4? Just fell back to me. Cut your losses. Yeah, I feel like this is, to me, this is specifically with regard to the Tower here. If you feel at all compelled to hang on to what wants to fall out of your life, this card is here to tell you to let go. It is here for a reason. You are not meant to stay in this place. If you stay in this place, you will never make it to the freedom at the end. Because whatever this is, like it's falling out of your life for a reason. It was never the support you needed. Even if it looks like it, even if you thought it was at one time, it's not. So there is this need to let go, to cut your losses, to recognize when something is not working out. And just to know that letting go is how you make room for this beautiful journey ahead, where you make room for this beautiful outcome. But you can't get here if you're determined to stay over here. All right, last messages for pile number 4. All right, we've got one card that came out. Let's get one or two more for you. Last messages for pile number 4 on their journey to true abundance. First up, we have breakthrough. For a star to be born, it must first collapse. This is not your destruction. This is your rebirth. Oh my gosh. More confirmation of what we were just talking about. Especially to me, this is all going back to this Tower moment. For a star to be born, you are the star being born, by the way. For a star to be born, it must first collapse. This is not your destruction. It is your birth. It is a rebirth. This is a breakthrough. So again, if you find yourself in this Tower moment, if you find yourself going through this change, it can be very destabilizing, very disorienting. This is your guides. This is spirit coming through and telling you to lean in, that this is happening for a reason. It really is. It might not feel like it right now, but when you are on the other side of this journey, you will look back and understand you could not have gotten here without this event, without losing this, without things breaking down and falling away. And lastly, we have replenish. The sun will rise and we will try again. Yeah. I feel like this whole journey is a great rise for you. This is a great rise. And it's also a message to me also to replenish yourself. Like you get to try again tomorrow. If things don't work out, especially along this journey, because I feel like these are deep lessons that have been ingrained in you, deep struggles, deep healing is needed. So it's not going to go perfectly every day. You might have some days where you are really struggling with this, which is really frustrating. This card is here to tell you to take the time then to replenish yourself. There are going to be parts of this journey that are draining. But again, it's getting rid of all of the gunk that's keeping you from this freedom, that's keeping you from this really passionate, really free, really liberating place. And I hope you can get a sense of this energy through this reading, because man, like, I can feel it, and I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it in the end. So take care of yourself in the process, but know what's waiting for you on the other side. And on that note, pile number 4, I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If this reading resonated, I would love to know how in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really love to have you in future videos. If you would like a personal experience, I do have personal readings available on my site. That is linked below. I also have live readings, and I have coaching sessions available. All of those are also linked below. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.